Between Mike Trout, Cody Bellinger, Ronald Acuna Jr., Juan Soto, and Christian Yelich, there are so many young baseball players carrying the league right now. But the thing about it is most of you guys are kind of young, so these are your superstars. What about the players that I used to watch when I was young? What's going on, guys? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another Major League Baseball video. Today, I need you guys to get a box of tissues because we are about to go down memory lane. We're going to talk about some of the most famous players from the last couple years and players that I feel like everyone misses every single day. Honestly, I'm a huge baseball fan. Not a single day goes by where I don't think about one of these players. So without further ado, let's get into it. This video is sponsored by Seatgeek, so if you're going to any baseball games or concerts anytime soon, make sure that you use code Fuzzy for $20 off. And now the first player on our list is Derek Jeter. I miss this guy so much, so he's still in baseball because he is the general manager of the Miami Marlins, but he hasn't really been the best GM as he's traded away Giancarlo Stanton, Marcell Ozuna, Christian Yelich. The list goes on, but we're not going to talk about that. As a baseball player, Derek Jeter was one of the best shortstops to ever step on the diamond. There's a reason why people say Jeter or kids in their backyards yell Jeter while they're throwing a baseball because of this play right here. I feel like his best season came in 1999 where he almost hit 350 at a 349 batting average with 24 home runs and 219 base hits. And honestly, in my opinion, I feel like aside from the Derek Jeter throw, one of the things he's most known for is the flip because he was all about hustle. He was the guy that made the right play every single time. And also him running into the stands and breaking his face for the most part, getting this foul ball. I feel like these are the reasons why we love Derek Jeter, and we miss him every day.
You gotta break this thing in. Hey, Wally. Wally. Hey, it's not what you think.
That is honestly one of my favorite commercials in the history of commercials. Big freaking Papi David Ortiz. I do want to say my prayers still go out to him and his family. As you guys know what happened, he was shot out in his home in the Dominican Republic. In 2005, David Ortiz had a 300 batting average with 47 home runs and 148 RBIs. Now, you do not see that many RBIs anymore, so aside from just him being an amazing human being, he was also a home run derby winner. So David Ortiz, when he was in the batter's box, literally nothing could go wrong. He was also one of the most clutch players in the history of baseball. So whether it was him speaking at the Boston Strong event at Fenway Park or him just being Big Papi, man, I wish that he didn't retire. I miss him. I know a lot of you guys know who this next player is, but some of you might have never seen Carl Crawford play because this guy, when he was in his prime, he was the fastest player in all of baseball, and oh yeah, he could also hit. In 2006, the dude had 16 triples with 18 home runs, 58 stolen bases, and a 305 batting average. So this guy could do anything on the baseball diamond, maybe with the exception of throwing it because he did not have the best arm, but he also came from humble beginnings. He did not grow up very wealthy, so the fact that he made it to the big leagues, he actually played with another guy that's going to be on this list. I'll kind of hint at it. Josh something. I'm not going to finish that sentence, but he will be in the video as well. But Carl Crawford coming up with the Rays. Eventually, he made it to the Red Sox and the Dodgers. But obviously, his prime days came back in Tampa Bay. And I just think if this guy could have stayed healthy and maybe just played a little bit better at the end of his career, he could have been a Hall of Famer. Coming up next, we're going to talk about 3 players that retired last year in 2018. Between these 3 players, they had 17 All-Star appearances and 10 collective Gold Gloves. We're talking about David Wright, Joe Mauer, and Adrian Beltre. I know it's only been a year, but man, who else misses these guys? You can debate all you want in the comment section down below if you think that Wright or Mauer or Beltre are going to be Hall of Famers. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it super simple. I'm going to go ahead and show you the clips of these guys and their best moments in baseball. So for David Wright, I think I'm going to go with the barehanded catch. Joe Mauer, there was a behind-the-back catch along with his MLB The Show commercials. And then last but not least, Adrian Beltre, when he used to hit home runs, he would drop to a knee. And also, for whatever reason, he just hated having the top of his head touched. So we're also going to play that. So make sure you guys get your popcorn and beverages ready. We're going down memory lane now.
Ooh, a little broken bat and oh, David Wright! What a play! Are you kidding? Now that's a reach.
Wingspan swings and fouls it back.
Here at Nats Park, Joe, catch this without looking.
But I'm the American League MVP.
Sure you are, big guy.
Joe Mauer?
Mauer.
Dude, we went fishing in Cabo.
I'm not even allowed in Mexico.
Then where did I get this?
Well played, Mauer.
A team with an average that low. Atlanta Braves. Beltre hits it high and deep. And
Here comes. It's funny. He got a fastball. He got a pitch that time. Take that, Elvis.
So we've already talked about one home run derby winner in David Ortiz. The next two players are also some of the most feared power hitters in the history of baseball, and especially in the last 10 to 15 years. We have Ryan Howard and Prince Fielder. Prince Fielder, the way that his career ended, it's so sad. But we're going to talk about Ryan Howard first because the Phillies just had a retirement ceremony for him, so it's kind of fresh in my head. So let's talk about it. Ryan Howard won the Rookie of the Year award in 2005. The next year in 2006, he was the home run derby champion and hit 58 home runs in a single season. If we go from 2007 to 2011, his average for those 5 seasons was 41 home runs, 129 RBIs, and he finished in the top 10 for MVP every single season. So I'm actually not sure if you can find a more feared hitter in baseball in that time than Ryan Howard. I just remember watching those Phillies teams and being in complete awe, especially when the Phillies had Cliff Lee, Roy Halladay, who we're actually going to talk about those two guys in this video, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But they had Jason Worth, Shane Victorino, Hunter Pence, Chase Utley. They had so many guys on that squad that just made me want to watch Phillies baseball, and Ryan Howard was at the epicenter. He was such a beast. I know, unfortunately, he had the Achilles injury, and just like a lot of the guys on this list, their career was derailed by injuries, and I think for right now, our next player, he might have been the biggest culprit of injury. The fact that Prince Fielder is not going to be in the Hall of Fame because of a neck injury just does not make sense to me. The reason why, because if you look at his stats, between 8 seasons, he only missed 13 games. This guy was the modern day Cal Ripken Jr. He was a 2-time home run derby champion. In 2007, Prince Fielder had 50 home runs, and even at 31 years old for the Rangers, he had 23 home runs and a .305 batting average. I'm telling you guys, we were robbed of one of the greatest overall hitters of all time. If he would have stayed healthy and been playing right now, I think that Prince Fielder could have pushed 450, maybe 500 home runs with 2,500 to 2,700 base hits. This guy was the real deal. He could also kind of move for a bigger guy. Prince Fielder, I wish that he was still playing. He's one of those guys where injury, just like Ryan Howard, stole their entire career. Coming up next, we have one of my favorite baseball players of all time, Josh Hamilton. I know a lot of you guys might be on the fence about this guy because we all know the backstory of his career. He was drafted #1 overall, and then tattoos and drugs and alcohol really got in the way of his playing career. But man, when he returned to baseball, he did not miss a beat. In the first half of 2008, his first season with the Rangers, he had 21 home runs and 95 RBIs. Not in that entire season, but he did that in one half of baseball. And then if we stick with 2008, he had 28 home runs in the first round of the home run derby, with 7 of those going over 500 feet. Then if we fast forward to 2010, when he won his only MVP award, he had a .359 batting average with 32 home runs and a crazy 1,044 OPS. I miss Josh Hamilton every single day. It's unfortunate that he went to the Angels and kind of fizzled out. He was actually playing well, but then he slid into first base and broke his wrist. Ever since then, he was not the same player. And honestly, I really don't even think he's having that great a life outside of baseball. I think he just got divorced, but that's all besides the point. Whether you like him or you don't, I think that we can all agree that as a baseball player, he was one of the best talents we've ever seen. The next 3 players that we're going to talk about, we're going to do the same sort of thing that we did with David Wright, Joe Mauer, and Adrian Beltre. We're not going to really talk about all of these guys in depth, but I really want to show some of their highlights as they had a ton of them. We're talking about Tim Lincecum, Cliff Lee, and Roy Halladay. Just like Jose Fernandez, I do miss Roy Halladay. It's unfortunate that they actually passed so soon, but Tim Lincecum, his nickname was the Freak for a reason. His body defied physics. He was a 2-time Cy Young Award winner, just like Roy Halladay. Obviously, his best moment is going to be coming from that perfect game that he threw. And then Cliff Lee, who won a Cy Young Award back in 2008 with a crazy 22-3 record and a 2.54 ERA. I think he was best known for not walking anyone and just being a crazy smooth pitcher. So without further ado, sit back and enjoy the highlights.
Strikeout number 13, 2 down in the ninth. Giants beat the Braves 1-0. A brilliant pitching gem by Tim Lincecum.
The line at third. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Helms. On the inside corner, strikeout number 11. 2 pitch. Hit toward third. Castro has it. Spins, fires. A perfect game! Roy Halladay has thrown the second perfect game in Philadelphia Phillies history.
Little pop-up. Lee will take it himself. Made that look easy.
That was a rather nonchalant grab.
Guy's in the World Series. That's out number 2 here in the 6th.
Get excited, will you?
I remember this moment as if it happened yesterday. It was September of 2016. I never go on Yahoo, but I decided to, and I see the worst headline possible. Jose Fernandez passes away in a boating accident. I know that a lot of things came out after his passing away that, you know, he wasn't a very good human being that last night, but you know what? As a baseball player, I tip my cap off to him. In 2013, he won the Rookie of the Year award with a crazy 2.19 ERA. In 2016, the year that he did pass away, he had a 16-8 record with a 2.86 ERA. He almost had 260 strikeouts. He was actually leading baseball with a 12-point-something strikeouts per 9. So I think the thing that we all miss about Jose Fernandez is just that he had so much passion for baseball. He was even a stud in the batter's box. I think we all remember when he pimped a home run against, was it Brian McCann? I think it was Brian McCann. I'll go ahead and roll that right now. But again, Jose Fernandez, his passion for baseball, I haven't really seen it since. Maybe Ronald Acuna Jr. is having that much fun. Man, really sucks. The next 2 players are going to be guys that retired in the last few seasons. The first one is going to be Mariano Rivera. Oh my gosh, do you guys remember how good that cutter was? But he actually came up and was drafted as a starting pitcher, but for whatever reason, it was just not clicking with him. But as soon as he developed that cutter and was set to the bullpen, we witnessed the greatest relief pitcher and the greatest closing pitcher in baseball history. He had 652 saves, and at 43 years old, his final season in baseball, he had a crazy 2.11 ERA. I think his lifetime ERA was 2.21, so I really have no idea how he was able to do that. He shattered baseball bats left and right. So we're going to go ahead and roll his clips in just a second because we have one final player to talk about, and that is Ichiro Suzuki, who won a Rookie of the Year and MVP his first season in baseball. He broke the single season hits record with 262 back in 2004, and then obviously we all know his glove and arm was the best in baseball. So we're going to go ahead and roll some Mariano and Ichiro highlights. How can you not miss these dudes?
0-2, 2 outs, 9th inning, Yankees up 6-4. Rivera sets and deals. Strike 3, ball game over, Yankees win, and it's perfect because the greatest closer in history now has the most saves in history.
Given a standing ovation as he steps up, dead even with George Sisler. And a ground ball back up the middle, and there it is. He's a new all-time hit king in Major League history, number 2.
Alright guys, well that is going to do it for me today. I hope that I made some of you feel just a little bit younger. I do have some honorable mentions. I actually have 2 of them. Grady Sizemore and Brian Wilson. I was a huge fan of both of those guys, but I felt like maybe not a lot of people would agree with me, so I left them towards the end. And you guys have to let me know in the comment section down below. Did I miss anyone? Do you guys have a favorite player from the past that you wish still played today, or maybe that you just think about on a daily basis? Because honestly, you guys know I love Grady Sizemore. I wish that he still played, but unfortunately, injuries, you guys know how that goes. He was not able to make it past, 4 or 5 really good seasons. But thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, slap a like on this one, and don't forget to leave that comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.